Hey guys, what's up? Hey! You know what time it is? You know what time it is? I don't know if you could read the title or not. The 100 subscriber special. Hey! Ooh. So, we have officially done it. We have officially reached 100 subscribers. And I couldn't have done without you guys, honestly. I never thought I would have reached 100 subscribers. That's insane. So hopefully there's more to come, more videos like this to come in the future. I'm hoping so. Nonetheless, I want to thank everybody for your support. Honestly, it's been amazing to have gotten this far. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like much to a lot of you because it's 100 subscribers. But for me, anybody that's went through this that has gotten to where they're at now knows the feeling of hitting that triple-digit number. And it's a pretty good feeling, honestly, to see that big old 100 next to my fucking subscriber count. And I'd like to thank all you guys for enjoying my content, checking it out, and watching it. It means a lot to me, because I do put a lot of time into this, and I try to make it as best for you guys as best as I can, given the circumstances sometimes I have to go through. So anyway, as, I wouldn't say a reward, but as a special video, the last one I did was 70 subscriber count. This one's going to be my top 10 favorite anime and manga series. Now this is solely my opinion, and if you guys feel the need, put your top 10 in the comments below. Top 10, top 20, it don't matter. I want to see what you guys like. And, you know, I'll just let you guys know what I like. And this list did not come easy at all, okay? I've seen tons of anime, I've read tons of manga, and narrowing it down to just 10 was very hard. It took a good while to do it. And, you know, I started off off the top of my head, I started off with 23 series that I fully enjoyed a lot. But I had to break down 10, and the ones that didn't make it in the top 10, they will get honorable mentions near the end, so you'll get to see what was left out and what I still enjoy a lot. But let's get into this, okay? Because this is going to be a special video. And so, like I said, my opinion, and if you don't like my list, let me know what your list is. I would love to hear it. So, that said, you know, it's been a while since we've done one of these. Since I first started, actually. I ain't done it for a while. Or I used to spin in the chair every time a good chapter came out. So let's do that real quick. Okay, that's enough. Oh, Lord. Okay. I see why I don't do that anymore. Anyway. Given the video and the circumstances, this calls for one thing. Hey. The Rams hat, gotta put it on. It's nice to snuggle my head. Yeah, the Rams hat. Ooh. So let's get on this fucking video, okay? This list. Starting off with number 10. Toriko. Toriko, I know this latest chapter I bashed pretty hard. It was a bad chapter, let's be honest. But if you've never seen, and let me put this in the, I forgot to say this. For each series, I'm not going to tell you the plot. If you just came across this video by sheer luck, never seen my channel, you've never seen any of these series by any chance, I'm not going to tell you the plot. I'm just going to give you my opinions on why I like these series and the characters. Because if you see a series that you like on this list, I want you to go experience it firsthand. Okay, it's best to just experience and get the plot firsthand. It's the best experience. So, like I said, I'm going to just do this as best I can. So anyway, Toriko, in my mind right now, in my opinion, the best ongoing shonen, even given the facts, it's what's happening right now with, it seems like everything's getting sped up, and it's not great right now, but for the series as a whole, as of right now, it's very good, honestly, it really is. Even the concept is pretty much, it all revolves around food in this gourmet age, and yet it revolves around that, still an action fighting shonen. And the characters, you know, you get the four main, Toriko, Koko, Sunny, Zebra, along with Kamatsu. These guys are awesome. Okay, they're all unique in their own way. And the main character, Toriko, he's a badass. What can I say? He's sick. And the characters he fights and the villains he fights along the way are even better. And the whole world building aspect, even though in the fucking review I did say, okay. But so far, for the most part, the world building has been one of a kind. It's amazing. And I can honestly tell you, in the manga wise, because the anime is no more, Thank God. The anime was god awful. I don't recommend that. I recommend go watching the manga. Go reading the manga. Fuck, watch. And yeah, by the way, right now, what you're seeing right now is not the anime. It's the OVA. It came out before that. But anyway, in the manga, I can honestly give us Dorigo. It doesn't lack stats. That's what it's one of its strongest assets. Stats. It gives you stats, and that's one of the things I love the most about Dorigo. There's no speculating most of the time. They're right there in your face. What the stats are, what they're capable of doing, and it's just an amazing thing. It really is. It's awesome. So overall, Dorigo yet my number 10 anime/manga series of all time, favorite. So let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is one I don't review anymore, but trust me, I plan on getting back to it after I catch up with it, and that is Nanatsu no Taizai, the 7 Deadly Sins. Hey, yeah, Meliodas. And I really love 7 Deadly Sins just for the fact that it takes place during an age, kings, the round table, it's medieval, and it's awesome. Okay, I'm a sucker for that shit. And I really enjoy the characters. I enjoy everything in this, well, most of the things in this series, not everything, but Meliodas is he's a very awesome main character. He's not what you'd expect when it comes to a main character. His attitude is completely, I don't know, he's a pervert, I mean, he's like, Meliodas is awesome. And the whole backstory of the 7 Deadly Sins and what had happened to them, it's a very interesting to go through and see them, gather the group back together. And when you meet each and every other deadly sin, they all have their unique personalities, they all have their own quirks, and it's amazing. Like I said, the anime is still going on. I think they're going for a season 2 here sometime in the future. The anime overall was great. I suggest go watching the anime. Then you can probably, where the anime leaves off, you can read the manga afterwards, because the manga is very good itself. But yeah, that was 7 Deadly Sins. Great series. It's my number 9, and I ain't got much more to say about it. So going on to number 8. Now this one, I don't think a lot of people fucking seen this coming. But it was in my mind when I made this list. It was one of the top ones I put on there. And it's Kuroko no Basket. Or anime-wise, Kuroko's Basketball. This series, it's a sports series, but the way it's set up, both manga-wise and especially the anime. Like I suggest if you want to get into this series and see it for what it truly is, how great it is, the anime is definite way to go, because it's especially when you get into the intense games, like later on in the series, when you start seeing the zone, and when you start seeing, awesome characters like Almine, and Almine is my favorite character, I'm sorry. Kageme's pretty badass. Not Kagome. Oh, it's probably Kagome, I can't remember, okay? It's been a while since I've watched it, it's been over for a while. But Almine, that's my dude. I love Almine to death. Almine's beast. But once you get into the actual further on, you see the other generation of miracles and how Kagome, if that's wrong or right, I forget. Okay, sorry, I didn't refresh my memory. I'm going off the cuff here. And you see how he compares to the generation of miracles. Once one by one, you start seeing them. It's very cool to see how he stacks up and how every time he goes against one, especially Almine, he just gets dominated. But he still finds a way to overcome him. And it's just great to see him work with Kuroko, who was the ghost of the Generation of Miracles, He was the one, and he's choosing to work with Almine, and it confuses Generation of Miracles. And, I mean, I guess I kind of give away the plot right there, but, it's the series overall, even animation-wise, is amazing. The games themselves are intense, and the great thing is about this series, Kuroko and Kagome are, could you say, the main characters, but it doesn't detract from the other players of the team, the seniors. They also take advantage and full control of the court. They are still the leaders of the team. In reality, they are still the leaders. And they all have their certain aspects in the way they play, and they don't have the abilities like Generation of Miracles or Kagome has, but they still have very unique techniques that are still help them win games, which is what I like. So yeah, overall, I can honestly say I enjoyed Kuroko no Basket. Pretty awesome series. Number 7 for me is Rurouni Kenshin. Or if you grew up you're still around that area, but they rebranded it into Samurai X. But Rurouni Kenshin nonetheless. It is not your typical shonen, okay? In my eyes, in my mind, one of the greatest shonens to ever exist. Rurouni Kenshin is a historic and action series, and the main character, is Kenshin Himura. He is a wandering swordsman, the Batosai, the manslayer, and the trials and tribulations he comes along the way in this series, along with the friends he gains, and the lover he ends up getting. It's very great. It has the romance, the comedy, the action, and just everything he goes through from the series, all the way beginning to the end. And the enemies he faces are all they're great in their own way, and they all have a connection to somewhere to the point where they connect with the Batosai in some way. And just Kenshin Himura as a character, he's loving. You can honestly love him very easily. It's not hard to like Kenshin Himura. But when he needs to be serious, he can get serious. And there was times in the series where you wanted him to cross the line. He's kind of like a Batman. He's kind of like a Batman, an anime manga. He really is. And there's times you want him to cross that line. You want him to just do this because this guy he's going against needs to fucking pay. And it's at the same time, if he would do that, it ruins his character. And the unimaginable resolve he has is very incredible. But overall, I can honestly say Rurouni Kenshin is one of the all-time greats, honestly. And I enjoyed it like crazy when I was a little kid, and I even enjoyed it nowadays when I can go back and watch it and still know that it was such a great series to get into. But yeah, 7 is definitely Rurouni Kenshin, and I suggest watching that one, definitely. Number 6, Death Note. Now, I know a lot of people are always saying, oh, you got Death Note on here, that's so mainstream. Listen, there's a reason why Death Note is so popular. Not because of they get the characters, but it's not your typical anime. You don't have your, I'm all for righteousness good guy, and your, the world is evil bad guy. This is not as black and white. This isn't a fighting series at all. This is a mind-boggling series. It's a how would you want to put it? It's one of them it's like watching CSI, except to the 10th degree. And it's just so great, the whole series overall, until you get to the part where one of the I don't know if you call him an antagonist or not, but he dies, and then everything beyond that point just seemed forced and oh, no. But yes, Death Note is overall, the characters are great, they're interesting, and the story itself is just so compelling. It makes you, like, if you watch it on a marathon, as soon as that episode ends, you instantly want to click on the next one. It could be like 6 in the fucking morning. You've been marathoning since 8 o'clock. You'll click on it because you want to know what happens next. You'll want to know. That's what kind of pull this show has, and this series in general has. It pulls you in. All the crime genre that is portrayed into, the supernatural aspect of it. It's so compelling, and it's just one of those series that you just have to get into, and it's so worth the time putting into it. You grow bonds with these characters. You grow great bonds with these characters, and when someone dies, it really impacts you, and it makes it hard to choose a side to root for. It really does. Like at one side you're like, oh, you want it for them, then the point changes where you want to root for the other side. There's no good or bad guys in this show at all. Well, I mean, in a sense, yes, it is, but to the watcher's mind, to the reader's mind, it's hard to distinguish black from white. It really is. But like I said, yeah, Death Note number 6. Definitely series, if you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? Watch it. Number 5. 5. Hey, we're halfway there. Number 5 definitely has to go to Code Geass. Okay? Most people, I'm sure, who are into anime manga heavy have watched Code Geass and or read it. Code Geass is a fantastic series. It's been acclaimed as one of the greatest ever. And the characters in the series, there are some you won't get fully connected to all of them. Okay, because some you'll hate. Like there's some I don't think you're not supposed to hate, but you'll hate them. But the whole aspect of this series is so ridiculous. It's so amazing. And the main character, Lelouch Britannia, Via Britannia, He's an amazing character. Incredible with a great backstory. And his ability, I think we all who have watched it wishes we could fucking have at one point in our lives. Maybe still today. But that ability is one of the most overpowered, ridiculous abilities ever. In my mind. It's so hacked. It's not even funny. Like, if you compared that to the Death Note, which would you want? It's like, oh, I want both of them. Because if you had both of them, you're unstoppable. But yeah, Code Geass. It's a compelling series. It has its ups and downs. It will have you crying happy. It's a all-around fantastic series. Sometimes it's slow-paced. I will give it that. But all around, it's something you won't regret it. You will not regret watching this series, because I still have fond memories of watching this for the first time, thinking, what? It's a great series, and you should definitely watch it. But yeah, number 5, like I said, is Code Geass. Check it out, and we'll read it. Shit, do both. Why not? It's a great series. Number 4. Number 4 for me is Tenga Toppa Gurren Lagann. And I know I don't talk about it much on this channel at all, seriously. I mean, Gurren Lagann. It's a series, it's made by the same people, if you've never watched it, but you've watched Kill la Kill and you like to Kill la Kill. The animation of the anime is by the same creators that have done Kill la Kill. So you can expect to imagine the animation style and the way, how dynamic it is. So if you're used to Kill la Kill and you like Kill la Kill, you'll get into the series used to the actual animation. Because it's one of a kind, it really is. But Gurren Lagann, if you've never watched it, but you've heard about it a lot, there's a good reason for that. Gurren Lagann has some of the greatest characters, a very good story, even though, for Gurren Lagann, the thing about it is, you have to turn your mind off a bit to watch this series. I mean, you can't come in here having logic. It's kind of like, just like Kill la Kill, you can't come in here having logic. You have to have an open mind, turn your brain off, and just watch it, and enjoy it for what it is. Which is really the main thing about this. Gurren Lagann is action-packed to the bone, and it does have, you do grow to love the characters a shit ton. I mean, they're kind of one-dimensional to a degree. They really, some of them are. Like, you know, honestly, the anti-spirals for one are kind of one-dimensional, but for the most part, it's a great series, and the globe of what they can do, like what they can destroy, is ridiculous. Like, the series itself and the characters, Kamina, everyone knows Kamina. Yo, Kamina, yeah, Kamina. Simo, my drill's the drill that will pierce the heavens. But overall, I love Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, especially the theme song. Oh, the theme song's amazing. And just seeing Simone grow from this scared little kid into this adult who has taken charge of humanity. You know, it's a great series overall, and it has, honestly, in my opinion, as Simone, has one of the best character developments throughout the whole series. I think it's one of my favorite character developments for a main character through any series. But yeah, number 4, Gurren Lagann, definitely check it out. I guarantee you won't fucking regret it. So now we're at the final 3. Now, starting from number 3 on this list, it's a childhood favorite of mine. It's been a favorite of mine for a long time. Anyone who's known or done it, has anything to do with anime, has heard this series at some point in their life, and that is Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, Yu Yu Hakusho. I remember coming across this back when I was in about 5th grade. I seen ads for it on Cartoon Network for Adult Swim. And I decided one night to stay up and watch it. And at first glance, I fell in love. It was episode 1, and I watched it, and I fell in love, and I was stuck with it. And I've watched this series over again probably about 4 times, the entire series, and it still never gets old. Yes, animation's kind of out of date compared to today's stuff, but it's still, the storytelling and the action makes up for it completely. Now, the characters in this one, like I said, like with, I would say Gurren Lagann, you'll love them. You'll grow to love them. The backstories that they have are very well done. And the main character, Yusuke, he sets up, I think, the antithesis of what shonen mangaka try today to do a badass main character. I think he's one of the figures of that. And Yusuke himself is one of my all-time favorite main characters in shonen. He's a great character. And Yu Hakusho has some of my all-time favorite characters in general. Hiei, Kuwabara, Kurama, and you have the villains, amazing villains in fucking Yu Yu Hakusho. Toguro, Sensui. I mean, I guess you could say Yomi and Ryzen, but they're not really bad. But overall, this show really, this series in general was just an amazing series, and to this day, it still is near and dear to my heart. And I would defend it every time. I mean, I can accept the negatives in it, but when someone attacks it for what it's good at, I can't handle it. Once again, if you've never seen Yu Yu Hakusho, look it up, watch it, enjoy it. It's an amazing show, and you won't regret it. Number two, it's the theme of my intro. It's my avatar for my YouTube channel. The main character's everywhere on my shit. You know who he is. He's from the infamous and amazing Cowboy Bebop, Spike Spiegel. That's right, Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop has some of the... It's definitely not a kid's show. And the bad thing is, I first found this show when I was in, like I said, with Yu Yu Hakusho 5th grade, because it was on Adult Swim at night. And I was some random episode I watched, Cowboy Bebop, when I was younger. Thought it was cool when I was younger, didn't really get much into it. As I got older, probably about, I'd say my junior year of high school, I started watching it. I wish I would have watched it sooner. I really would have. Because the storytelling in this series is so amazing. The movie of Cowboy Bebop is a great... The animation, actually, even though this is an 80s series, it still holds up, I think, animation-wise, today, with today's series, when it comes to action animation. Because in the earliest episodes, as you can see at the bottom here, right here, it's so fluent. It's beautiful. I don't know what the budget of the animation was, honestly, for Cowboy Bebop, but it must have been pretty damn good, because the animation was just well done in the action scenes and all. And the setting is so great. Space, and just... and the thing of the story of Spike, emotional, and then in the ending is climactic as hell, but you get every bang for your buck when it comes to Cowboy Bebop. And that opening, you've heard it hundreds of times in my videos. If you keep up, you know how awesome it is. That jazzy sound, it's amazing. Overall, I think Cowboy Bebop is a legit classic. There's not many that can come close to it, in my opinion. And it's by far one of my all-time favorites. And I love it so much. I dig it out. I actually went and bought the whole series. That's right. Yeah, I got this little doll for like $30. Pretty good deal if you ask me. And I have actually rewatched every freaking episode on this. So, definitely Cowboy Bebop. Something to watch if you haven't watched it. I definitely guarantee it. So now all is left number 2, but before we get to that, let's do some honorable mentions. And for the rest of the series that didn't make it, I have ranked them from 23 to 11. So, like I said, here's the honorable mentions who didn't make it on the top 10. And now that we have all the honorable mentions out of the way, all the rest of the 9 anime and manga that I've talked about, we have reached the climax, which is number 1. Numero uno. My personal favorite series and anime/manga, what have you, of all time. And people that know me, people that have watched this channel, I've said it before, I'll say it again. My number 1 series is, drumroll please, Berserk. Now, Berserk, I don't know what all to say about this series. The storyline, the story itself, the characters, the tragedy it strikes, and everything after that in the manga, after the original anime back in '98 was over with. Granted, we got the movies that pretty much recapped what the anime had done, just more up-to-date animation. Everything that happens on there from there forward is just beautiful storytelling at its best. Amazing storytelling, amazing characters. It's a story about betrayal and revenge, and it's a roller coaster ride, honestly. The main character, Guts, I've never seen a character have such a shitty life like him, to have a shitty past, to go and have what it seems like a great future with the people he ends up being around, and then it all winding back down to Shitsville, to getting fucked over, to being in a shithole of a mess that he's in to begin with. And then we get to see him push forward on for revenge against the man who did him wrong, the man who he called best friend. It's a series. It's honestly one of the best storytelling I've ever seen, read, or heard in my life. And the thing about Berserk is, I stumbled across it by accident on YouTube a long time ago. And I stumbled across it on accident by watching Bleach videos, actually. I was watching Bleach at the time. I was watching the episodes on YouTube before I even knew of any websites that had the episodes. Just rewatching them. And I accidentally clicked a video I thought said Bleach, episode 23, which is near the climax of the original anime. And if you guys have watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It's 24. 24. It is the end of it. So those of you that know what 24 is, and you know what happens to 24, imagine going into that not knowing the story, not knowing the background, and just going into it blindly, and seeing what I seen. Like, at first, I was about to click off. I was about to say, oh, this ain't what I was looking for. I'm going to go back and see if I can find it. But the more I watched it, the more it pulled me in. I was like, what the fuck is this? What happened? Why is this happening? Who are these people? And so, I didn't go back to Bleach after that. I went back and I looked Berserk episode 1 and I watched from there. And I even went back and watched the ending again. So I knew the whole story. And it was just a roller coaster ride. And it was just amazing. And it was the best mistake I ever made in my life. By finding this my mistake. It was the best mistake I ever made. Because I went on from there to read the manga. At the time, I wasn't big into manga at all. To be honest, Naruto is what got me into manga. But before that, the only manga I had ever read at that point, before I even knew it was manga, was Berserk. I was like, it said go read the manga. I was like, I don't know what a manga is, but I'll go read it. And I found it was a comic. I was like, okay, let me get into this. And for the longest time, Berserk was the only thing I read. It was Berserk, and I caught up with it, and oh man. It honestly is the one thing, it was amazing. It's a great storytelling. The art, when I looked at the art in the actual manga, my jaw dropped. Because after I had caught up with the manga at that point, I went back and reread the manga to where it led up to the anime. And I cannot tell you how amazing, how great the art is. Kentaro Miura, one of the greatest mangaka of all time. Even though his schedule really fucking retarded, because another chapter don't come out. He comes out every so fucking couple years, a couple chapters, and it sucks, but it's well worth the wait. It really is. And I just don't know what all to say about it. Berserk honestly is my all-time favorite. I have never found an anime or manga that's come close to it. But that is honestly my number one pick of all time, and it probably will never change. I can redo this list over 500 times, and it probably will never change. So overall, like I said, Berserk is my number one favorite anime manga series of all time, and I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I really hope you did. And as always, I want to reiterate what I said. Thank you guys for so much. 100 subscribers is amazing to me, and I really appreciate all your guys' support. It's meant the world to me. I've had bad days. I've come home from work and shit, and what's helped me is this channel by reviewing and all that shit. It's helped me out a lot. And like I said, I greatly appreciate you guys. You don't know, from the bottom of my heart, it means a lot to me as a person. And I hope you guys continue to support me. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the content I put out. Because like I said, I put everything in this content I make. The editing time I put into it, and just the time in general I put into this channel, just for you guys to see my opinion, to enjoy my videos. And that's all I've really got to say about this. So, as always, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you once again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always,
Have a nice day. God bless.